What would you do if your own family tried to destroy your life? If they spread lies about you, called the cops on you, and even got you suspended from work? Well, I was forced to find out. And let's just say, my revenge was so clever, so relentless, that they still don't know who did it. But trust me, they'll never forget it. If you've ever dreamed of serving justice to people who treated you like garbage, hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up, because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll hear all year. December 2021. That's when my quiet little world got flipped upside down. My mother-in-law Sue, my sister-in-law Bree, my brother-in-law Brad, his newest fling Bonnie, and Bonnie's kid all packed up and moved 10 hours away from their old town, to mine. Now, my town isn't tiny, but it's small enough that everyone knows everyone, or at least knows someone who knows someone. Gossip spreads like wildfire. Which makes what they did to me even worse. At first, I thought, fine. Whatever. They're here, I'll deal with it. But I had no idea just how toxic things were about to get. Their first family lunch was at the grandparents' house. Everyone was trying to be welcoming, except Bonnie. She sat in the corner, arms crossed, refusing to talk, refusing to engage. Sue even had to make a plate of food for her, because Bonnie wouldn't get up and serve herself. I noticed it, sure. But I brushed it off. Some people are shy. Some people are awkward. I wasn't about to judge her. But apparently, she judged me. Because from that one lunch, Bonnie decided everyone hated her. And guess who she blamed? Me. Brad, who, mind you, has introduced almost 40 girlfriends to the family over the past decade, jumped right on her side. He ranted to my partner that no one ever likes his girlfriends, that we're all judgmental, that I personally was the reason Bonnie felt unwelcome. Honestly, it was laughable. Everyone knows Brad never keeps a relationship longer than a few months. We stopped trying to bond with his girlfriends years ago because, what's the point? But instead of letting it go, Brad and Bonnie cut off the rest of the family, except for Sue and Bree. I thought, great. One less headache for me. If only it had stopped there. Fast forward to August 2022. Brad and Bonnie are on again, off again like usual. Then, during one of their off phases, Bonnie finds out she's pregnant. That's when things spiraled. Bonnie went for her first ultrasound, but because she used private insurance, she got stuck with a massive bill she couldn't pay. Her solution? She decided to skip all future pregnancy care. Of course, doctors flagged her as high risk. She was a heavy smoker, drank constantly, used drugs, overweight, and juggling a cocktail of mental health meds. Naturally, child protection got involved. And who did they blame? Me. Because I work with kids, they became convinced I was the one calling child protection. Never mind that child protection told them they'd received dozens of reports, something like 90 in total. They still zeroed in on me. And then, they declared war. First, they started filing complaints about me with child protection. Then they called my boss, accusing me of abusing my own kids. That got me suspended for 6 months while the investigation dragged on. Imagine that. Sitting at home, wondering if your job, your entire career, was about to vanish because of lies. It didn't stop there. They called the cops on me, over and over. Saying I was beating my kids. Saying I was growing weed. Saying I had weapons in my house. Police were showing up at my door multiple times a week. And of course, in a town this size, rumors started spreading. Whispers. Side glances. People wondering if maybe there was some truth to it. They weren't just trying to ruin my job. They were trying to ruin my entire reputation. My family's safety. Our home. And for months, I tried to ignore it. To be the bigger person. To wait for karma. But by February 2023, after they got evicted for not paying rent, and still somehow blamed me, I snapped. I sat there thinking, how do you fight people like this? People who will stop at nothing to drag you down. I thought about all the ways I could get back at them. I could post their numbers on shady sites. I could call the cops on them for real. Or I could just ignore them and hope they burned themselves out. But no. That wasn't enough. I wanted something slow. Something relentless. Something they couldn't trace back to me. And then it hit me. Both Brad and Bonnie had blocked me on Facebook. But they hadn't blocked my partner. Which meant I still had a window into their world. Every time they posted something for sale on Facebook Marketplace, I pounced. I took their listings, furniture, electronics, you name it, and I turned them into posters. Posters that said, in big bold letters, free. Please pick up at their address. And then I plastered those posters on every church board, every community bulletin, every notice board, not just in our town, but in the towns around us. 7 towns in total. And then I sat back and waited. The first week, it was a trickle. A few strangers showing up at their door, expecting free stuff. But soon, it became a flood. Morning. Afternoon. Evening. Knocks on the door. Cars pulling into the driveway. People asking about couches, TVs, baby gear. Brad thought Bonnie was giving out their address to strangers. Bonnie thought Brad was sabotaging her. The fights were constant. The stress was unbearable. And I was living in peace for the first time in months, listening to the chaos from afar. Every time they tried to sell something new, I made more posters. More towns. More traffic to their doorstep. It's been months now, and it still hasn't stopped. Word is, they're so fed up, they're talking about leaving town altogether, packing up, breaking their lease, and crawling back to where they came from, 10 hours away. All because of a stack of posters. After everything they did, after the police visits, the lies, the job suspension, the attempts to destroy my family, watching them implode from their own paranoia was the sweetest justice I could have imagined. And the best part? They'll never know it was me. Sometimes the best revenge isn't loud. It isn't violent. It isn't even dramatic. It's quiet. It's subtle. It's letting toxic people destroy themselves with just the tiniest push in the right direction. And trust me, the look on their faces when strangers kept showing up to their house. That was my peace. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And of course, subscribe for more insane revenge stories.